talk about what personas are and what they are useful for in the testing perspective. I have been using this concept for a very long time, but never realized that this thing really works. So I'm going to take you 25 years back and see. That's wise.
I'm glad it's not just me who's struggling with those.
No, I'll take it back like that. If any of you remember January 28th, 1986, I used to work for the Space Shuttle program in that year. And that year, we had something on the Space Shuttle program designed and beyond it. And the disaster struck, and we lost the Challenger that year, that day. And consequence of that was that we all lost our jobs because of it, because there was no work left for us to do, because we didn't know when this was going to be launched again. And I missed again. The picture before it was that those are the people who were on board and never made it. And it's a sad thing. We lost a job, that's okay, but these people never made it to the Earth, so we didn't know exactly what happened with the shuttle. So, sorry. Okay. So okay. I know, I'm not used to it. Yeah. So my career changed at that point in time, so I transitioned to IT. Before I did that, I had to do a degree in science, in engineering, so, which I call system engineering for a year or two, to be able to catch up with the IT development and all those sort of things. And then I landed in a project which is a waterfall. And this is... So I was given a project on software development. I became a business analyst at that point in time. So from there onward, I moved down to the design stage and the programming stage, and then all the testing stages. So I basically followed the V model quite a number of times in the last 25 years. One thing I didn't realize was that every time I had a new project, I was thinking about a customer and sort of building a persona of it. See what he's going to do with the product, what test he wants us to do. So it's built in my specification. And when I written the acceptance test sheet, so when I was writing the acceptance test sheet, then I was talking to him, building his persona to see what he's trying to us to do. So similar thing happened when I moved on to the design stage. I was taking that information across to the design, and then to the sort of, even the component level. And when I was testing, I was taking that information across and building it into my test, and all my tests sort of were built into a sort of Excel or an Access database. So I need all the information I need about a customer. So if I'm testing something and a customer comes along and says, how are you doing? So I can tell him, these are the tests which passed, these are the failed, these are with the programmer, whatever. So it's sort of, it helps me to understand what I'm trying to do for the customer. So all the persona I built for the customer is being passed along throughout the project. We don't use V model these days. Very few projects are on V model. So what happens is the V model become an I model in my perspective. And we put it on the horizontal scale, and we call it sort of a now I go back. Good.
You just use the arrows.
Left arrow.
Left. This one.
I bet if you pop the mouse down.
Maybe one of the chaps got the mouse. You can. Yeah. Someone grab the mouse and just he can give you a nod when he wants you to move on.
Yeah. So we go back to
Yeah. You touch it from there. That's right. Yeah. So now we have a model, but in a sort of in a horizontal position. So we use different methodologies, Scrum or Kanban, whatever, to sort of run the projects. Next slide. Now I have a new client. my friend, Karen Miller is sitting here. A couple of weeks ago, he gave us a requirements document, and he wanted us to see what's missing from the documents. Can we improve it so I can impress his boss to say, I've got come up with a new idea. Next slide. So he gave us all these requirements. Next slide. What I could have done is taken all the requirements, make a sort of a storyboard, say, okay, these are the story we want to build. But I didn't want to do that way. So when we were talking to my collaborator on the other side of the Atlantic about this thing, so I was thinking about something else, and she was thinking about something else. So I was concentrating to see what sort of system we want, what is what you're going to use it for, what is experience stage with the system, similar systems. So that's the next slide, please. So I was going to sort of thinking about all these different questions about about Darren to say what he really wants to talk to. If I don't give him with that system, what he would do, how he would go about doing it with his day-to-day job. So all these questions came up. So I'm trying to build a sort of persona for him to see what he's up to. Next slide. So when I got a persona, I come to a friend and he said, could you build a little sketch for me? Next slide, please. So where we can use the persona. So the persona is normally used at the story, when we have slicing the story, so the story mapping stage. That's where normally people use. But people also, next slide, please. People also use it in the acceptance testing phase when they build the acceptance testing, ATDD they call it. And they use different tools to put specification in, fitness, cucumber, working. So you can build all your tests, but you have a persona built into the test. So whenever you want to see how many tests are for this particular system or person, then you can automatically run a tool to find out. So you can also pass it to the next, please. So you can also take that information across to the next stage, which is the integration system of performance stage, and you can use that persona in that concept as well. Next, please. You can also take it right down to the exploratory testing stage, so you can, when you find something wrong, you can link it to a system, a subsystem, or a persona you actually created at your story stage. Next, please. 1 minute. 1 minute, that's it. And you can put all that information into a database. You can use Excel or Access database, and you can take a tool like ALM tool to actually link it to each stage and can report it from there. Next, please. These are the people who have influenced me to sort of when I was doing this stuff, then I knew that what I was using for the last 25 years is actually building personas in my mind rather than actually putting it on a paper. But these guys are actually using it during their when they have a new project, they're building story mapping or they're doing acceptance testing. Next, please. These are my sort of thoughts on the persona. I'm going to take it a step further to sort of look into how it fits into the test designs. And I also want to look oracles and heuristics to see how, I don't know much about it, but I just want to learn more about it. And thanks to SDD and James for being here, and Kyle from Nottingham. And thank you very much.
Questions?
Why do you need to do that? If you've got product owners also have to come to an idea.
Yeah, but you need to, if you want to focus, you need to know who you're building the system for, what his pain points are. If you don't give him that system, how are you going to do his job? So when you're building your sort of acceptance test, you build the persona into the acceptance test. So when you're building what they call a live document in the sense of purpose specification, by example, so you can pull out all the tests from it to say that these tests belong to this guy, and if you go to the system testing stage, you can pull those tests out. If the customer comes to say, where are you with my product, so you can pull those tests and show him, this is the status of the test. And if you go 100 tests, past 50 tests, 20 with the programmer, 20 have issued them, 10% I don't know. So you cannot give him a status report from the database because you can pull out all the tests from it rather than trying to say I've written these tests in this spreadsheet.
So you do that. So you do that even if he's available.
Yeah.
It's not a substitute for him being there.
No. It's you build the persona once and you use it through your projects. So you link it to your tests, to your program, the component level. So you just take the concept all the way through rather than just leaving it at the story mapping stage.
So you mean it's all about the persona of the user?
Yeah, I mean, if I have an acceptance test, I'll say age acceptance underscore is a finance underscore whatever person I'm building the persona for, plus a number. So all that's going into it. When you're doing a database design, you have attributes. Against attributes, you put the persona IDs, as placed with this requirement or whatever.
So you use it to come up with ideas of things to test.
Yeah, you can use different ways, but persona is sort of, you picture a person that you are building the system for. That happens.